You can wholesale more than houses.
Text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. TikTok, you don't stop. I will help you make your paper stack. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now? 205-964-5243. Now you know. 205-964-5243. Now you know.
Boom, we're in here. May 10th, Flip Man's Daily Live, wholesaling real estate without using your cash or credit. Morning, afternoon Q&A. We're here to answer your questions about real estate investing. How to make money is the main purpose here. The title of this particular daily is You Can Wholesale More Than Houses. Before I get into that and describing or explaining what I mean by that, make sure if you want to build probate or pre-probate leads or a list, text the word probate to the 205-964-5243. Also, to that number, you can also text the word contract. You want to use the contract I've been using since 2003. If you want to use the closing detail sheet, which is used when you actually have a seller in the contract, you actually have a buyer in the contract, and you need to simplify, explain to the title company and or closing attorney how you're going to get paid. Text the word close to that number. Also, what else we got, Jessica? Oh, if you want to learn how to text message, text the word text to the number, TEXT. Learn how to text message the proper way, what list to build. I show you all of that in that particular video training. If you need the script, what to say to sellers, simple as that, text the word script. I forgot on the closing detail sheet, text the word close. I'm sorry if I didn't say that, CLOSE. What else we got? The CRM, if you're trying to manage your leads, you're trying to create a pipeline for your bandit sign leads, for your driving for dollar leads, for your co-wholesaling JV leads, for your direct mail, for your door knocking, for Facebook ad, Google ads if you're doing those. You need to have all of that organized to know what's working, what's not working, do more of what's working, correct what's not working. You can also, within the CRM, you could call them, which the call is recorded, which helps you. If you have a VA working for you, you can go back and listen to the actual calls because they're recorded. Even if it's you making the calls, you can always go back. You might just need to, you forgot something or the tone of the call dealing with the actual seller, or if you have a partner, but that's probably one of the better features of the entire CRM is just a click of a button. You can actually just make a call to whoever is in your pipeline. You can text message them, you can email them, you can drop a ringless voicemail. So with that CRM, you can also build in your cash buyers pipeline. So now if you want to send a ringless voicemail out to all of them about a property you have a contract, you can do that. Or if you want to text message all of them, boom, call them, email, whatever you want. So text CRM to the 205-964-5243. I don't think. I don't think I got that one in there. If you want a JV, just text message 505050/50. Then the skip the flip, I think I may still have, just text the word skip, SKIP in there also. So you can wholesale more than houses. Yes. Now, the majority of why we talk about houses because it's more of that real estate than probably anything else as far as being able to contact the actual decision maker, right? A lot of people have real estate just in their names, which it makes it easier to find them. That's why houses is such a more of a lure or being attractive to wholesalers or real estate investors in general. Also, you can make those deals happen faster. But with all saying that, there's another layer to that. You can wholesale mobile homes. It's a different ball game. If you know, if it's very similar to wholesaling houses if land is included with it. When land is not included with it and the mobile home has to be moved, now it gets into a more difficult area in most cases because there's no closing needed to make the transaction happen between a buyer and a seller, but it can be done. Apartment buildings / multifamily. Well, now we get into the well, you could do the duplexes, you could do triplexes, fourplexes, 5 units or more would be considered commercial multifamily, but you can wholesale those also. The evaluation process is going to be different because it's an income producing property. You can wholesale hotels and motels. Same thing. This is a commercial side of the business. This is the commercial side of the business, and to evaluate a property is more income-based versus like with houses is basically what other houses have sold for, similar to your house within a certain time frame, a certain distance. Whereas with commercial, it doesn't work that way. It's more based on either what the property is producing as far as income and or what it can potentially produce as far as income. In most cases, they're buying to hold, even if for a short time, to maybe to do a value add, then they may resell it. That's their way of flipping the property, stabilizing it, getting it to produce an income, and then they may flip it. But then a lot of times they want to hold on to the property for a certain amount of time to produce income. So when you're evaluating those, and it's just, I could spend hours just talking about each one of those properties or whatever. But to answer the question or to explain the topic here, yes, you can wholesale more than houses. Now with commercial, normally it takes a lot longer. Now I'm gonna say not a lot longer, but it takes longer than houses. Sometimes it does take a lot longer. Everything could be going right. When I say a lot longer, where a house deal 2 to 3 weeks would be normal, with commercial 2 to 4 months would be normal. And that's if everything is going the way it should go. Now with multifamily, you can move those a lot quicker. Sometimes self-storage, you can move that a lot quicker. The evaluation process may not be as detailed as with some of the other types of commercial real estate, but any of it can happen fast. Don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about, generally speaking, it takes longer. But the trade-off to that is normally the paydays are so much larger than with houses. Because a lot of times you're dealing in most cases, you're going to be dealing in 6 figures. A lot of times you're going to be dealing in 7 and 8 figures and higher. It can go even to billions or whatever when you're dealing with commercial. So there you go. Order when you're ready. Oh, and don't forget, if you need your properties, comps101.com. Just submit them there. Also follow me on HIHO, HIHO.
All right. I'm not sure if this is a question or a statement, but this is on Instagram. Jerry Norris said I can't even say the word right now.
Regulations?
There you go. It's coming to wholesaling and assigning contracts will not be possible anymore.
Well, Jerry, okay, we'll deal with it when it happens. You can predict the future. I mean, you need to talk about some other stuff.
That's what I said. I'm not sure if it's asking or...
You can predict, yeah, stuff changes. We'll deal with it when it happens. Don't stop nothing. We'll deal with it when it happens.
All right. What's a good way to advertise land deals?
In the same places you'll advertise your wholesale deals. All the same places.
Okay. I have so many. Top 5 thrills said I've been marketing niche lists lately. Niche. Okay. Do you think that's a good idea?
He said what now?
He's been marketing niche lists lately. Do you think that's a good idea?
I'm going to always side on doing something. The smaller the list, sometimes it can be more effective depending on what the niche or niche is or whatever. So, yeah.
All right.
Activity, man.
This one's from Eric Carney. He said, good afternoon, philanthropists and the ladies of fitness. Hello.
LOF.
Fadil and King Tut. He said, I love you, my dude, Flip Man. Your work is so great.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Batista Goodman said, how do I find a good title company, and is there a fee for the title company to check?
Well, to answer your second question first, Yes, it calls for title companies to perform a service. They're performing a service for you, so they're not going to do it for free. To answer that first question, a simple thing you can do is just go to YouTube and do a search for, I'm sorry, not YouTube, go to Facebook and do a search for my Facebook group, Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flip Man, right? And just ask that question, or ask this question: what title company, what closing attorneys are wholesaler friendly in XYZ city?
All right. Timothy Moore said, peace flip man and ladies of flip with the increased prices of
Oh, y'all got
lumber.
a name,
With the
don't you?
ladies of flip. Okay.
That's what's up.
With the increased prices of lumber, do you agree that we should adjust our estimated cost of repair instead of $25 per square foot, maybe 28 per square foot?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. Yeah. Um, yeah, I could go along with that.
Okay. Black Forbes from YouTube said, how do I find out the property value for a vacant lot? And can I use your contract to lock gates vacant property?
He said, how do I find the property value for a vacant lot? I'll answer that first part of it. That's one of the more difficult things. Unless there's a lot of lots being sold in a particular area, over short time frame, maybe a year or so, of similar size or whatever, it's going to be difficult to come up with that number, right? So, the simple thing you can do is whatever the county says the market value is, go with that number and try to get it at maybe 20 to 50% on the dollar, 50 cents on the dollar. Can I use your contract to lock gates, vacant lot? I guess it means lock up vacant lots. No, you can't. If you'll text me, if you text me at the number, the 205-964-5243, to send you that particular contract, I'll send it over to you or whatever. So,
All right. The first question on TikTok, hi Flip Man, should I do a land offer letter for reaching out to sellers?
should he do a what?
Land offer letter?
A land offer letter? I'm not sure what they mean by that.
Maybe.
Sending a letter, yes, asking
Put an
them
offer
to.
on there, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they mean by that. Kendara.
There you go. All right. This is on
I
Instagram.
don't say dog.
Is Dallas a good place to wholesale trailer homes?
Mobile homes. Again, if you know what you're doing, yes. It's probably a good number of mobile homes out in Texas. Dallas, even obviously, is a metro area, but I'm sure they have parks out in the areas, in and out of the general area.
Deep in the heart of Texas. Okay.
Pearson.
People are just saying good afternoon and
Good
thank
afternoon to you all.
Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out
Most
there.
definitely.
All right. I'll be moving up. Said, I know this isn't the video topic, but can you explain how to use Google Voice and how to have multiple numbers on the same phone?
Well, Google Voice, there's going to be tons of videos on YouTube on how to use it. It's a third-party number that you can use to capture voicemail, to forward to your number without using your actual number, and how to have multiple numbers on the same phone. Well, you can forward, you would have to get different Google accounts, which would produce Google Voice numbers. And you can forward each one of them to your one phone if you want to. That's free, but it's going to be limited because it is free. We use Vumber. There's some other services, maybe a little better, but that's what we've been rolling with for quite a while now. Vumber, V as in Victor, UMBER.com. It does a lot of different things. One of the best features on that also is that, the phone calls are recorded, so.
All right. When Van Travis Moss, I think I said your name right. He said, I love this content. And then he also said, I had a house under contract for 2 months, couldn't sell it to a realtor, a realtor listed it and sold it for $30K more than I listed it for. What did I do wrong?
Oh, you didn't market it. You did. Oh my God, that hurt. Your marketing. What were you doing to market it? You know, obviously there was a market there for it, right? What did you do to market? Now, let me say that. I say obviously. Did they sell it cash? If the agent sold it cash, yeah, you were definitely doing something wrong. But if the agent sold it for 30 more because they got a mortgage and somebody gonna live in it, it may have been that you were dealing with a property too close to retail and the agent just sold it right at retail and sold it because someone got a mortgage to buy it to live in it. That's different or whatever. So you'd have to answer those questions to let us know if you really did lose out or you just had a property that was overpriced anyway and the agent put it on the market, someone bought it to live in. Those are two different things or whatever. So,
All right. We buy houses cash said, how many deals can I do in a month?
oh, there's no limit, man. Keegley, my boy Jamil and his outfit, they do between, I don't know what they're up to now, but 2019, they doing 70 to 80 deals a month. Oh, talking about Illinois and all them places. But yeah, unless you're one of the, Illinois or Kansas. But if you had a license, you don't have no limit or whatever, or dealing with a partner with someone that has a license or whatever. So.
All right. Anye Bledsoe said, I'm not too good with comping my own. Do you know if someone or some type of software that could comp my properties? For me, I have 6 properties that need to be comped.
Anye, you have not been watching. Comps.
They have been watching though. She be on it.
I know she on here every day. I know because we thought she was a dude, but she had to let us know she was a woman. Comps101.com. Send them over. My man Michael comp them for you.
All right. Van Travis said that it was a cash deal on the house.
Okay, yeah, then your marketing, you were not letting enough people know. Go to, I forgot about our cash keyword. If you want to learn how to build a cash buyers list, like in this example, text the word cash, CASH, to 205-964-5243. Cash.
All right, this is on Instagram. Do you do deals in Montgomery, Alabama?
Most definitely. Let's get it.
All right, this is on TikTok. Do you provide one-on-one help, or do you have a step-by-step process to share?
Well, the coaching that I offer, which is a paid option, it automatically comes with the courses. So, the step-by-step courses, which speeds up the learning curve, and plus you get to deal directly with me. But that's a paid option. Or you can text me on the number, and I'll be glad to provide pricing for you.
All right, this is on Instagram. How long do you have to find a buyer after you put it under contract?
Well, ideally, you negotiated a minimum of 30 days with the seller, right? If you can get longer, but that's your time frame. That's your clock. That's when your clock starts to tick.
All right, what are some good marketing strategies for these homes?
Some good marketing strategies? Do you mean to find deals? Are you talking about to find deals? If you're talking about to...
Oh, well, she said other than Facebook groups.
To find buyers?
It said, what are some good marketing
Yeah,
strategies?
if you could explain more, I'm not sure which direction you're going in on that. So.
All right, I want to start wholesaling. This is on TikTok. Any advice for beginners?
Well, beginner, you're already started. So you're starting to trying to educate yourself. If you're on this live right now, that's the simple thing that you can do. Not saying it's easy because it does take patience, but I hope you're enjoying what you're educating on yourself. It's nothing like when you're interested in something you're trying, well, I'm assuming you're interested in it. Well, no, you could be taking a class. And I'm sure most of you have experienced this, that most of the classes you took, you were not interested in the topic. So you would educate yourself. So you need an educational source, ideally a free educational source. So the first thing you would want to do is dive into a source like I provide for free on my YouTube channel. Everything is there. Everything is there. So just set yourself a 1 to 2 month goal. A lot of you all have heard me send you this message. Set yourself a 1 or 2 month goal. You're going to become an expert through those videos I have on YouTube or whatever, and take action. Just understand the business boils down to generating leads, generating daily leads. That's why you'll hear me talk about all the different methods of generating leads. Bandit signs, direct mail, cold calling, driving for dollars, other wholesalers, even real estate agents, if you know what you're doing, Facebook ads, Google ads, direct mail. Boom, those are some of the
All right. All right.
normal
The
ways.
lady you told her to follow up, she said, no to sell homes to buyers when she asked, what are some good marketing strategies?
Okay, well, yeah, once you get a property under contract, we have a list right here. We have a list right here, get the old point out. We have Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, LinkedIn groups, Craigslist, Realtors, Real groups, Bandit signs, Google, other wholesalers, auctions, driving for dollars. When you're out driving for dollars looking for houses, you can be looking for people that are doing renovations. Get out and introduce yourself. There you go.
All right. What about New Jersey? Is that a good market?
Most definitely, if the city is big enough.
That's pretty good. All right.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't like it.
I said it seemed like chocolate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought the other kind too, though. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Spankinitty. All right, I ain't gonna ask no question. Is it a good idea or mandatory that to get earnest money deposit from the buyer?
It ain't mandatory, but it's a great idea. You want some commitment because you're taking it off the market for everybody else to, you know what I'm saying, somebody else that may be serious. You don't, at least that's like a hurdle or an indicator that this person is serious about closing on the property. So yeah, you need some earnest money put up.
All right. This is from Michelle McDonald. She asked, "Can I do wholesaling real estate out of state?" Absolutely.
Yes, called virtual wholesaling. Yes, you can.
All right. Julius Butler said, and this is from YouTube, he got a seller who doesn't want to lose depreciation in his property that he owned for over 30 years. Now, can I wholesale it without him losing it? What should I say to him?
Well, the sellers if he owned it 30 years, it should have had some appreciation in that time frame. Sometimes it can be very significant.
Mhm.
So if the seller wants what the retail market would bear on his property, you know, assuming I don't know what the condition of it is, because that may, you know, that's relative to whether he can collect all of that equity that he's talking about. What condition is it in? Or whatever. So, but at the end of the day, you're negotiating equity. Yeah, of course he wants to sell for much as he can get it or whatever. But at the end of the day, the numbers are going to work for you. Whatever your number is, you're either going to sell it in and around that number or not. You know, there's no what can you do? Either the number's going to work on the deal or they're not. Not like you're trying to trick him into something. You know, he won't sell it at this price. You want to buy it at this price. If those numbers match up, deal. If not, hey,
No
maybe
deal.
later.
Yeah. If he want to really move the property, he'll probably come back to you.
Yeah. Somebody.
Yeah. Okay, this one's from Jay Smith. He said, "Can you wholesale land?" Absolutely.
Yeah.
We buy houses cash. Said we want to see the flip lady.
Well, what we're gonna do is one day, is there a price? Is there a price that it got to be that much? Hey, y'all can cash app us. Huh? Hey,
Just to do here.
hey, y'all can cash app. I'm asking, what's the number? They want to see y'all. They hear y'all voices on, you know, a few times a week. What's the cash app number? All y'all's.
Oh my God.
$100.
I don't. We
200 raise.
No.
500 raise. 1,000? 500 each.
You said a raise?
I'm saying they with their cash up us. They want to see us. I'm saying we raise $1,000, but you all appear on camera. 500?
Ken, you wouldn't do it for $500?
You want to get on camera for $500?
Y'all, Ken is giving
Oh my God.
very bougie. Very bougie.
500 each. Get the Jessica. I ain't even worried about my girl. I know what time. Yeah, she used to that. You know,
We
so.
do it now.
Well, you play basketball in front of thousands of people. Well, we're gonna get you warm up with that 500.
Very warm.
Okay, wow.
So, moral of the story: no, we don't know. Let's move on. They don't want to hear about that.
Yeah, let's go.
They don't want to hear about that. Okay, China Womble from YouTube said, "Can I wholesale pre-foreclosed homes?"
Yeah. Yes, you can. Now, I'm not just gonna keep saying yes and no. I'm gonna explain some of these. I guess that's why they want it.
You're right.
But yeah, you can. With pre-foreclosure, now there's different. A couple of things that you have to understand about pre-foreclosures. And if you don't know what a pre-foreclosure means, it simply means that someone is behind on payments, and whoever they owe, which is a lender, a bank, or whatever, mortgage company, they've started the foreclosure process to take the property from them. But it's a process. Take weeks, months, just depends, or whatever. So with a pre-foreclosure, as far as an opportunity as a wholesaler, generally you would like to think there's a motivation there to sell, right? Sometimes it doesn't. The only reason houses go into foreclosures, that means that somebody never sold it before it went into foreclosure, or caught the payments up or whatever, or paid it off, whatever. So you as a wholesaler, a lot of people hear that word and they just automatically think it's just it's an opportunity. I'm the only one to know. But the problem with pre-foreclosure is I ain't gonna say it's a problem. Just I'd like to try to just get a trend. Obviously, you can make money with it. I'm gonna tell you how you make the money with it. But one of the biggest issues with pre-foreclosures is that those people are hard to reach. Period. If you're not paying your shelter bill, well, that's what a house would be. In most cases, some other bills are not being paid also. Now, it may be because of those other bills not being paid, but that's probably why you may be in part of the reason someone may be in that situation, because you overextended yourself. Sometimes you buy more house than what you should based on your lifestyle, or your lifestyle prevents you from paying for the house that you live in. Now, sometimes you just lose your job and, it is what it is, or your income, or, a source of income in that household. But in most cases, that means their phone is ringing a lot, even if it's just from the mortgage company. So guess what? Someone that's been there before, when you got bill collectors calling you from numbers that you don't know, guess what you do? You don't answer. So you're going to be calling from a number they don't know. So they're not going to, it's rare they're going to answer the phone, rare. So now you're going to send them something in the mail. Guess what? Just like you got that list of that person in foreclosure, guess how many other letters they receiving? 30, 40, 50. You know what I'm saying? So yours, that's why they're just sorting over the trash can. We buy houses, postcards, and letters from all over people. Now, I ain't saying it don't work. I'm just telling you ain't the only one doing it, by no means. The odds are, made, they're not in your favor. All right, so you jumping through those hurdles. Let's just assume they do call or speak to you. Now it gets into how much do they owe? How much do they owe in back payments? What is the ARV? What is the condition of the property? Let's assume house ARV is worth $300,000 and it's in pretty good condition, but they owe $280,000. Not a deal. House worth $300,000, but they owe $140,000. Okay, the equity is there, and it's in pretty good condition. The equity is there, but now we get into, are they in la land and want to give you, say, hey, I owe $140,000. I'm behind $15,000. I'll let you have it for $270,000. That's still not a deal for you. But if they say that in those same terms, say, I just want to be able to walk away maybe $15,000 so I can get a new start, I'll let you have it at $170,000 or whatever. Okay, now we got some. So now if they owe that 280, there is another option. It's called a short sale. And that's where the person that's behind on payments goes to the lender, the person that they owe, the bank or lender, the mortgage company, say, hey, will you take a discount? I may have a buyer for this, or I'm interested in going through the short sale process. So basically, they collect a lot of information from them, their income, get them to write a hardship letter, as they call it, what happened. Basically, it's basically a what happened letter. How did we get to this point? So now it's up to the lender to say if they're going to discount the property or not, for it to make sense for you as the wholesaler that you can put on the contract now. There's some other steps to it, but anyway, so the issue with that is they can easily take anywhere from 30 days to 4 months just to give you an answer. And it might not be, say they may go, they owe 280, guess what they go down to? 265. That's not a discount. Now, if they go from 280 to 170, because after they've done their, they call it a BPO, broker's price opinion, they may say, hey, it may be difficult for us to, once we do foreclose on it, to even get to 170 or whatever. So we'll give them, if they can do that, we'll work with them on it. Okay, now you got yourself something. So if you jump through all that, yeah, you can wholesale pre-foreclosure. Hopefully I explained that to you, Shana. You know, that it's complicated, you know. Now, some people run their entire business on pre-foreclosure, but guess what? They may be working on 15 of them at one time. 2 or 3 of those closing every month. Yeah, you can make a living or whatever. But you know, you're organized in this business at its highest level to be dealing with that many pre-foreclosures or whatever. So, you know, the only time I really deal with them, they come to us, is that the house worth the 300, but they owe 140. I'm not going to even think about something if they owe 280 and it's worth 300. I'm not next deal or whatever. Now, what you could do, there's another option. You could catch up the payments, do a subject to, or you can catch up the payments, do a lease option. Those are 2 other options now also. But we're talking about wholesaling or whatever. And so that's why I didn't really get into those. And plus those are not really my lane or whatever. So.
All right, this is on TikTok. What's the quickest way you can close a deal?
Well, the quickest way is that I guess they mean the quick way to find the deal and close it. Okay, quickest way is that video that I did last week, that cash buyers video, right? Create your quick cash buyers list. You can do that through that video. Text the word cash to the 205-964-5243. Watch that video. Build a cash buyers list of 5 to 10 buyers, strong buyers in a certain part of your market, and then reach out to some wholesalers that have properties in those areas. That's the fast way you close on the deal. Boom. There you go. What else you need to know?
Yeah, you already kind of covered this, but I'm just going to ask it. How to wholesale listing properties by real estate agents.
No, I didn't cover that already.
I'm used to hering it all the time. So
You mean a previous video?
No, I mean, I thought you already answered this today.
No. To close a property with a listing agent, I sort of just went through a diatribe on the pre-foreclosure.
That still would be.
Yeah, sort of. It can be. In most cases, once you go through a short sale, normally the lender wants you to get an agent involved or whatever. So, but with a listed property, okay. All right, guys. All right. I know I sound like I'm always it's negative, but I don't like to give you no fluff. Yes, you can make money closing properties with listing agents, but you have to have certain things in place to do it consistently. You have to have the right type of buyer, because you're not finding something they already don't have access to or know about. Investors, cash buyers are being pounded from real estate agents with these same properties that you see on Zillow. All listed properties, I ain't gonna say all, but I'm gonna say a high percentile, in the high 90 percentile are listed on Zillow. An agent is an idiot if they're listing a property for you. You're an owner, an agent is listing a property for you, and it's not listed on Zillow. Zillow is the Google of residential real estate. If you're trying to sell or buy or rent a property out, you're kidding yourself if you don't have your property on there. That's the first place people are directed to. Well, the first thing people is go to the internet, and the first thing they're going to be directed to by Google or whatever search engine you're using is to Zillow. Now you're going to have True, your Realtor.com, HomeSnap, and all these other different similar services, but Zillow is king effing Kong when it comes to that, right? So now you haven't found, so yeah, if you got the right type of buyer, I call them a lazy buyer. Okay, you got that figured out. Now you got to deal with the real estate agent. Remember, you're trying to make money. Guess what the real estate agent is trying to do? Make money. How does the real estate agent make money? They sell on commission. They make their money on the commission of the sale. How do they make the most money? The more the house sells for, the more they make. How do you make your money as a wholesaler? The cheaper the house is, the more money you make. Guess what? You all are magnets turning on the backside. You're in total resistance of each other. Okay? So assuming you could jump that hurdle, because don't ever think, and they should, the agent is not concerned about their bills and their financial situation first, right? That's a number. I'm trying to work with my client and in their best interest. Okay, that sounds good. Your babies eat first before anybody's babies eat first, right? Your bills, period. I'm a professional. Okay, that doesn't say you're not a professional. We're just talking about you're a human being with needs before you're a professional. Period. All right, so assuming you can jump through that resistance hurdle, now in most cases they're going to want at least $1,000 in earnest money, right? You got that? I mean, do they have that? Do you got the $1,000? Okay, if you jump through that hurdle, let's go to the next. Now they're going to want proof of funds. They want to want proof that you can pay for it. Okay, if you jump through that hurdle, then the world is yours. Have at it. So I just gave you all the stuff you need to deal with a real estate agent. If you could jump through all of that, have at it. There are easier deals out there, guys. I know you want to be lazy and pull what you see down on the internet, which is listed properties with real estate agents, but there are easier deals out there. Again, if you can jump through all them hurdles I just gave you, oh, the world is yours. Let it rip.
Okay. Al Hoskins from Facebook. He said, I have a really good deal, but I don't have it under contract yet because the buyer wants to sell and close really quick, and I don't have a buyer just yet. Should I find a buyer first, then go put the property under contract? If so, would I risk losing the sale to the buyers?
Well, if you have a relationship with a buyer that you can trust, then yeah, you can might set something up like that. But generally speaking, you can't allow them to dictate. Certain things you can't allow the seller to dictate, right? Where you close, what contract you use, the price, and how fast you close, right? So if any one of those out of order, it's going to probably be difficult to close it.
Yeah.
Again, if you have a buyer that can close in a few days, that's ready to go, that you can go ahead and give them their address, they look at it, yeah, go ahead and put it in the contract, and we'll do it at this price, blah, blah, blah. Again, yeah, I got buyers like that, I've been doing it a minute, but it doesn't take long to build that type of relationship with people. But yeah, if you got a buyer that can rock and roll like that, yeah, but those 4 things just off the top of my head, you can't allow the seller to control. It's either your way or the highway.
Okay. Joseph Campbell said, if I want to flip houses and rent houses, should you go to college? No.
It seems like I'm just screaming. Am I screaming?
Maybe because you
I'm a little animated.
own one today.
Yeah. But to answer,
When you go to the whole, when people say listing prices, listing property.
Right. You get on your little soapbox.
yeah, I'm stupid.
I'm telling you guys, it's easier deals. Yeah.
Y'all wow. But I guess y'all know what pushes the little button. It's like, okay, I just go on into it. Sometimes I just say go watch the video or whatever. But anyway, so what we're talking about? Joseph. No, it's not neat. That's one of the great. Joseph, you don't even have to go to high school to do this. I'm gonna suggest that you do, but
Please.
let me just say this. Can you read? Can you write? Can you add and subtract? You ain't even got to be able to do
Arithmetic.
what's the other one? Multiplication and division. Well, that's that. Multiplication. You didn't got to know how to do that. I'm just saying you made add and subtract.
Yes, you do. Yes, don't listen to him. Yes, you
ain't got to be able to do that.
do.
You know why? Because at least let me put it like this.
Yes,
You need to just have a general understanding how to do multiplication and division. Because guess what? I'm sure you got a smartphone. If you're watching this, they got this thing, that app on most phones. It's called a calculator. It'll do that for you too.
We moving on.
So you don't need a high school diploma. You just need to know how to read and write, do some math, multiplication on a smartphone, and being able to retain information and actually put that information in the place. Somebody said something funny. What?
Let's say this home because ARV time.
Yeah, right. The calculator. I'm sorry, I was wrong. You do need to do how to multiply and divide.
Don't
Okay.
listen to him. Because you finna have these children drop out.
Oh, y'all quit now.
I mean, but it's not something you have to go to college for.
If somebody came in here right now, well, I ain't did no background check on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could be in here on the run. I wouldn't even know. I didn't never look at that stuff. I ain't never looked at. I didn't ask you. I ain't check it.
Yes, you did.
I didn't check it.
You wanted to see my
Awful.
They say they done went to college. Just what say she played basketball. She's tall, I guess. You know what I'm saying? You know, she want to play me in one-on-one, but I don't want to embarrass her. we gonna do that one day for real. You down? I gotta get a little shape, you know, like
Kid gonna
wind.
break your ankle.
Like I gotta get in some wind, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, if somebody, my point I was going to make, if somebody came here right now, hell, like I did it with y'all, I guess. Somebody came right now, I talked to them, I like, the person or whatever, and they say, well, I only have a high school diploma. Hell, I ain't gonna check that. Who checks that? You just assume somebody got that, don't you? The college stuff we might need to check. But the high school diploma, if I didn't graduate from high school and I was applying for a job and it's a high school diploma, yes. That's what I'm putting on there. Who checks that? Who checks that?
But some jobs do check.
You just assume somebody got that.
Yeah, okay,
That's a
real.
waste, huh?
When I worked at Camtech.
If they can fill out the application, they went to high school, in my opinion.
When I worked at Camtech, and you had to get hired on through the temp agency. When you do the interview with the temps, you had to bring your high school diploma.
What?
Yes.
What if I'm going? At my age, I'd have to bring my high school diploma.
Yes.
For all that stuff, you can make all this stuff.
I mean, yeah, you can. You can forge it.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I know that. I didn't did that before. I didn't did that before myself.
Yeah. You done did it yourself. Get out.
I don't know what it was, but I done made something up on years ago. But
Oh my God.
no, I'm just. I'm not gonna starve.
What
I'm
school
not
you
gonna
put on
starve.
there?
What school did I go to?
Yeah.
College? You don't know that?
No, I'm saying what school you put on the paper.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah.
I know you went to UAB, but you said you made it up. So
Oh, no, it wasn't that. It was something else.
Oh, okay.
No, something else. This technology is powerful, man.
It's with Harvard.
Oh, I've been terrible at college right now. See, we ain't had the internet. This is how old I am. It was just about to happen when I got out of college. But Lord have mercy, I couldn't imagine me having access to the internet when I was in college. Woo!
Cheating.
Yes, sir. I ain't gonna trip. Yes.
Okay.
You ain't gonna remember none of that stuff. It's stupid.
Don't say that.
I don't remember none of that.
You don't know. It depends on what your major is.
You're correct. You're right.
It depends on what your major is.
Medical. Maybe an accountant. You probably can teach yourself how to do that. Well, I know you can. I guess technically you do know you don't have to go to school to become a lawyer, right? If you could pass, I think I'm right on this. Yeah, if you could pass the bar, I think I'm right on this.
I don't know. My
I,
My friend did too. From Cumberland.
if you can pass the bar, and I'm sure some brilliant folks out here that just can lock in on that. I think I may be right on it. The only problem with that, even if you just passed the bar and you were trying to get hired by a firm or whatever, they probably wouldn't hire you because you didn't go to college. But that I think you can still practice law if you can pass the bar for that particular state. I may be wrong on that, but so please correct me on that. Any attorneys or anybody watching that, we probably don't have that.
Right, because you're finna get us caught up.
Yeah, but anyway, I just have a low, what's the word there? A low on education. Well, I have a low, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Somebody
Tolerant?
gonna answer your question. Somebody said, "You pass the bar, you a lawyer." Kim Kardashian.
That's yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you could see somebody like her with the resources she has.
Yeah.
She can get someone to probably prep her so well for that test that she can probably pass without ever going to college. Yeah, I have such a low bar in our education system. We need certain stuff, don't get me wrong, to be able just to function or whatever. But for what the time they spend on what they teach us and what's going to be real world, it is laughable. It is laughable.
It's laughable, really, because it ain't nothing but a debt trap.
You know what the best description?
The debt is just
you know what the best description I heard on Craig Facts, comedian I follow. I heard on his YouTube thing, and DeJuan Brown, one of the guys on the show, said, "College teaches what college proves to an employer is that you will do meaningless tasks and don't question it." That's what college proves. You would do meaningless tasks and don't question why you're doing it. For the most part, that's what, just the education system period, but college, it shows that you would do like, why am I doing this?
Right, yeah.
You know, like, how's this going to feed my family? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How's this sociology class going to It's not. It's not. It's not. How's this book on what's the Scarlet Letter? How is that gonna help me feed my family?
Right.
Why are you not teaching me about financial literacy? Why to get my credit score in this direction? How to invest in this and not that? Why is that like mandatory?
Right.
The Scarlet Letter, what the hell is that?
It's a word. It is a word. I think the only good thing about college, if you went away, is the experience.
I can't give nothing for a young man. Yeah. For a young man that grew up where I grew up, a town of less than 1,000 people, lived on a dirt road my entire life, right? Mm-hmm. It was everything for that exposure. Right. I got into some trouble I shouldn't have got into, you know what it is or whatever, but that helped me grow up too. Or whatever, that experience. To this day, I ain't repeated nothing that stupid or whatever, but I done some stupid stuff, but not that stupid or whatever. So, you know, for the experiences, the people I met now, a lot of times you go to college, you meet people, and the networking part of it is really good. But I don't really have any friends that I met in college that's helped me in the wholesaling, in just the business world or whatever. Now I went to college with some guys that are doctors and, you know, they doing well or whatever. But as far as what I do, none of that has helped me or whatever. Right. You know, now, again, the friendships are the more important. The friendships from then are the stronger friendships from where I grow up. They're stronger than the ones from where I grow up or whatever. And I knew, you know, them shorter time frame or whatever. You know, that's just where it is. But I'm just saying, as far as what I learned in college, now, again, if you're trying to be in the medical field, we need that. You got to go through that process. You need that. Maybe an accountant. Again, the attorney thing is questionable. Engineering, what? But anything like what computers or software development, you waste. Why would you go to college? Unless you're going to MIT, maybe Stanford, a couple of more schools. Everything else can be self-taught. What else y'all need to know? And that's real, man. Because everybody goes through the same thing. You sitting in a class, like, how am I going to make money from this? Like, how am I going to make money from this? I hope some educators are watching us right now. Please tell me, like you don't feel that way when you're teaching it? You know, so like, man, why am I teaching to these kids? They ain't gonna make a dime off of this. You know what I'm saying? But like my man DeJuan Brown said, I think that's what DeJuan last name is, Brown. He said, college shows, for the most part, unless you're in some of those specialized fields, it shows an employer that you would do meaningless tasks and don't question why you're doing them. That's what it shows. Next question. So to answer my man question, Joseph, you sent me off. You sent me off again. God dog, I'm tired, man. We done did what, 50 minutes already? I'm wore out. Ooh.
All right, what is
Hey, stop asking me these questions. Just send your boy crazy.
All right, this is on Instagram. What is the best motivated sellers lead?
That's a simple question. Doesn't require a lot of energy. A lot of that is based off of your resources. How much money do you have to put into it? All right. So we're only talking a few $100s, right? Bandit signs work really well. I know a lot of people not comfortable with doing those. That's fine. Text messaging still pretty good, or whatever. Cold calling, that can be the cheapest out of the three, but it may be the hardest out of the three. And you could do specialized direct mail lists similar to what we're doing here. Some of it's testing, or what I really can't get into it, but you're doing a more of a niche list. Maybe all the driving for dollar list leads that you've done, and you just sending them a letter. And I've been showing you all this lately. You're trying to get their attention or whatever. These are basically $8 every time you send them, right? So $100, you can basically send, what 8 goes into 100, Jessica? 12. You can send 12 of these, right, for basically $100, right? So, these may be the properties that you went out and found that you were driving for dollars, and you're just gonna look up the information, and you actually put an offer in there for it. It may be in a $100,000 neighborhood. You see the property and these look like it's a little bit up, maybe even possibly livable. You send them an offer for $25,000, but you send it in this.
All right, do you usually wholesale houses outside the state?
Well, technically, with Dealator, we're always trying to do that all over the country. That's why the 50/50 exists. Trying to do more of that. Only done a few, but trying to do more of that.
All right, this is also on Instagram. Is buying tax lien certificates a good investment?
When you say a good investment, people will buy, and it's different in each state now. But people will buy the tax lien certificate because the owner of the property, if they pay the taxes, they have to redeem it, and then they have to pay you a certain percentage over the amount that you spent, depending on the time frame. So it can be a good investment.
All right, this person's on Instagram, and they said, I'm sorry, but what is the actual definition of wholesale?
Good question. I don't have to go
They
crazy.
said, I'm sorry.
I don't have to go crazy. I like to try to explain it in layman terms, where just a street level. Basically, what you're doing as a wholesaler, you are a real estate investor. You're finding a great real estate deal. We're talking about houses. You're putting it under contract, and you're selling that contract for a fee. They're paying you a get out of the way fee so they can buy the house. And that person that you're flipping that contract to is a cash buyer. They'll pay you 4, 5, 6 figures and beyond to do this. And you can do as many as you want of these at the same time. Is that a good definition, ladies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, let's knock some of these out.
Oh,
Black
wow.
Forbes said
I held them up.
a little bit. But it's okay. Black Forbes on YouTube said, I'm looking for a vacant land lot. And on PropStream, it says assessed land value is $14,430. The market land value is $14,430. So what price should I try to get this lot under contract?
$2 or $3 grand.
Okay.
That's a very inexpensive lot. So that's that sort of identifies the area, the type of neighborhood, maybe in a rural area, maybe in a D neighborhood or whatever. So you're trying to get that for $2 or $3 grand max. Hopefully you can wholesale it for maybe 6 or 7 or something like that.
Okay.
If that's what you're trying to do, wholesale it. So.
All right. Samuel from YouTube said, does Mr. Flipman use an assignment agreement when assigning a contract?
Nope, we don't. If you go to YouTube, and I'm sorry, if you text me on the 205-964-5243, text the word close, I'll show you how we get paid.
Okay.
Once you have a seller in the contract, you have a buyer in the contract.
All right. Mrs. Williams from YouTube said, what do you do if you come across a protected address of a very distressed vacant house?
What do you do if you come across a protected address of a very distressed vacant house? What do you do if you come across what's a protected address? What, Mrs. Williams, if you could explain to us what a protected address is and what market you're talking about. What city are you in?
All right. Vanna Williams said, how much would it normally cost to get your first deal?
Wow, that Vanna, is it Vanna? I'm saying it right. Miss Vanna,
Subjective.
You said it's subjective. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It could be 0.
Mm-hmm.
It's 0 and up, literally 0 and up. When you can make money on spending 0 money, there's not even, it's an infinite profit that you basically made. So it could be 0 and up, and I'm not being cute.
All right. Joseph Campbell said, do you have any videos on how to know around the price of a house by looking at it? How to know the worth?
No, that unless you've done a lot of deals in a particular area and you just know what the current ARVs for that particular area, no, there's no video to do that. You just can't look at a house. It's always worth that. You know, that's just going to come from experience.
All right. Red Sauna Productions. They said, is there a creative way I can comp a house that's on a dirt road alone? Do I get it appraised?
Oh, if it's on a dirt road, that means it's probably not any other. Are there any other houses in the area that are sounds like a rural area? Those are very difficult to comp because there's nothing to compare it to. But what you said, Ken?
Okay, I'm guessing that a protective address is like people who go through domestic violence, sexual assault, something like that, crime based. They keep it confidential, like the address.
Well, they probably ain't trying to sell it anyway, though, are they?
Well, yeah, I guess if they trying to get away from the situation, maybe, and then they just don't want.
Oh, that's something I don't know nothing about that. That's interesting. Oh Lord. Oh, I don't know nothing about
but
that.
it doesn't have to be just like domestic violence. It can be like just criminals,
I don't know what was her question. I forget what her question was. But if you could repost that, I don't know. Okay, Ken, there we go. That Google Pile thing.
Oh, she asked, what do you do if you come across a protected address of a very distressed vacant house?
Maybe how to get it.
I don't know. That's a good question. Cause there's a reason for it, you know. So I don't know. Who do you call who do you call? You call the county? Call the county and see, hey, this address is protected. What do I need to do if I want to pursue the owner about buying it or whatever? So I guess that's what you would do, right? Just
I don't know. You can't call them half time. No.
You sure ain't nobody living there? They might really be living there. Oh wow. Oh wow, King. Okay, yeah.
All right. Okay, We Buy Houses Cash asked, is driving for dollars the best method for wholesaling?
Is driving for it's not I wouldn't say it's the best, but for someone on a very low budget, maybe even a zero budget or just gas money, it's normally going to be one of your better options.
All right, what do you think about the new wholesaling regulations?
As far as what, depending on what state, each state is different on that. Most states don't have any regulations.
All right, Jasmine Jefferson from YouTube asked, hey, Flipman and ladies, question, is Comps 101 on Thursday when someone sends you an address and you compare to other properties to see if it's a good deal or not?
Yeah, normally it is, but Jamil is in production on doing a TV show, and so I'm not sure when we'll do it again. I may just try to do it myself or whatever, but with him joining, I'm not sure when that'll be again.
All right. Psycho Maestro said he won't be messing with realtors till I get some deals under my belt. TJ Evans said, in your opinion, what's the best marketing strategy to use for wholesaling with very little marketing dollars? So he just said one driving.
Well,
for
yeah, one
dollars.
driving for dollars. If you text the word cash to the 205-964-5243, it'll send you the video on how to build a cash buyers list, and you just wholesale other wholesalers' properties. You just have to build a cash buyers list first.
All right. This one says when or where you close, how much you buy the house for, and what was the fourth thing you should control?
Dealing with a seller, these are the things you must control to have a deal. The contract you use, the price, the time frame that the contract says you're going to be able to close. You don't want to do anything less than 30 days. You want to get more if you can, and where you close, what title comes. You can't let them control any of that. And if any of those are out of place, in most cases, it's going to be hard to close. Not always, but it's going to be hard to close.
All right. I have one from Stoney Madison. He said, would you consider it a good strategy for someone starting out to focus on rental arbitrage to start a long-term rental business?
Explain rental arbitrage. I think I know what you mean, but if he could explain that, I don't want to try to go into some, and I'm not sure what he actually means on it. So.
All right, this is on Instagram.
I think I know about it.
This person's new to this. My dad is a contractor for over 30 years. Could he do the ARV for the property for me?
Well, ARV is the after repair value, meaning what will the house be worth fixed up. Your dad may not know that, but what your dad will be able to provide for you, right, is that if it's a 30-year contract, he could just walk into a house and, within probably 20 or 30 minutes, depending on how extensive he wants to look at it, he can tell you what it'll cost to fix it or whatever. So I'll give you a general idea. So that's going to be to your advantage, or it can be.
All right, this is on TikTok. So what if you can't find the buyer for the wholesale deal?
Well, if you can't find the buyer, two things you can do. Go back to the seller and ask them for more time and hopefully a reduction in price, and they give you that more time. Or you go back to them and ask for more time and they don't. If they don't and you're outside of your due diligence period, they keep their earnest money. They go their way, you go yours.
All right, this is on TikTok as well. I found a great property, but there are some squatters in it. What should I do?
Some squatters?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she said they're on drugs.
Okay. Okay. So number one, we're assuming that all right, you say you found a great property now. This is not really a conversation to have unless the seller's willing to sell, number one, and sell at an extremely cheap price. You need to get a price. I got to remove the squatter's price, not the price that would be a deal anyway. You need something below that, right? So now, assuming that that's in place, you got it on the contract, it's a great deal. So now what I would try to do is, right, I really never dealt in those type of situations dealing with people that maybe, on drugs and stuff. So I'm gonna be a little bit more apprehensive than going in. But I know people that won't have any problem going on and knocking on the doors. Hey, hey, what y'all doing here? Blah, blah, blah. This is what we're gonna do. Now, you're gonna legally can get put out, but why not get paid to leave or whatever? And that's what the approach I'm gonna take. Or whatever, I'm trying to pay them to leave. And then since you say you think they're on drugs, it probably not going to take as much as to move a family out of there that was just trying to make it or whatever. So you may can get all them out of there for $100 or $2 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So.
All right. Let's see. This one's from Mrs. Williams. She said, I'm in Dayton, Ohio. A protected address is one that doesn't show the property owner info. That's what we said.
Yeah.
They are protected because they may be law enforcement, a judge, or a victim, etc.
That's what we said.
Yeah.
Google is your friend.
Let's see. All right. Leroy Jones said, between direct mail versus text blasting, which would you recommend for a new wholesaler ideally?
Well, the text message done the proper way. You can text the number 205-964-5243, text the word text. You get the proper way of doing it, but it's going to be more efficient and cheaper. Not saying you can't find deals through direct mail, but it's going to be more efficient and cheaper, right? Text message. And you can get that started today. Direct mail, if you're going to do mass numbers, it takes a while to set that up. Even if you're doing it yourself, you're paying someone. If you want to do direct mail, I got some experts that I work with. Just text me mail. Just text me the word mail, and I'll send you their information. Or just text, hey, send me the guys' contact information that do the direct mail. They're experts. But direct mail is so much more expensive than text messaging, especially if you're doing the mass direct mail. So.
All right. He also said, got 1,000 business cards, and I put them in bathroom stalls, inside buggies, and in public places. Just something I'm testing out along with SMS texting.
Hey, I'm always siding on doing something, Leroy. On the side of doing something.
All right.
Versus nothing.
Samuel says school is a blessing in disguise. I agree. It can be good.
Explain. Please explain more.
All right.
Please explain. I ain't saying it's not, and it has its benefits. It's nothing else babysitters for a lot of people. But I'm saying what they're teaching is stupid for the most part. You shouldn't graduate college without understanding the importance of credit and how to manage the credit system. You shouldn't graduate, that's what I'm saying college, I mean high school, and not understand the difference in it's just as simple as how to set up a bank account, right? How to pay bills on time, and the important, that goes back into credit, what investment options are, and break it down to a level that people can understand. Well, they're not even teaching it, period. I don't even talk about breaking it down to a level the kids can understand it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? How to buy a house, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just the basics of teaching you how to live. You know what I'm saying? Being able to produce income from investment property, because real estate over time has been, more millionaires have been made from that than any other service or product or whatever, than anything, any type of investment over time. You know, just stuff like that. Why is that stuff not taught? And somebody will say, well, they taught that in my school. Good for you. Shit, they don't teach it in most or whatever.
Okay. I'm going to start from the bottom up. It says, how to get multiple phone numbers for bandit signs and what size?
How to get multiple numbers for bandit signs?
Yeah, we kind of talked about
well, you use Vumber.com and say that'll give you Vumber, V-U-M-B as in Victor, V-U-M-B-E-R. And then, what was the other question?
What size?
Oh, these are 18 by 24 portrait. Allegedly, these are used more for demonstration. Allegedly, these are being used 18 by 24 portrait or vertical or whatever.
Leroy Jones said, hey, Ty, should you dress a certain way when you go to these appointments with sellers, like business casual, or does that even matter?
It doesn't matter, man.
Okay.
You don't look like, it doesn't matter, man.
Let's do this one last one. He got on sweatpants, y'all.
Hey, that y'all asking the wrong person on that. But no, you're not. You're not asking the wrong person. You know, you're gonna go in there. That confidence is everything, baby. Huh? Jesse?
Yeah. I agree.
They know where the confidence comes from? Knowing what you're talking about.
Oh, I was about to say within.
And then that other part of the confidence, I don't care if you don't do it or don't. There's another deal around the corner that I'm going to see. Not saying you're going to treat people not like you want to be treated. I'm just saying you have to have that confidence that, hey, all right, there you go. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Anything changes, please give me a call back.
All right. Last one from Stony Madison. He said, talking to landlords and explaining that you're a corporate housing business, you become their tenant and they pay them rent using the cash flow from the clients. You sublease the unit to rental arbitrage.
Oh, you're talking about what they call it? What's it? Well, I guess it could be this. What do you call it when you rent a house out? Airbnb. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Basically, it's some of that short-term leasing or whatever. So, yeah. But they also you could call that a lease option. What you're talking about, or whatever. So, yeah, guys, we've been rolling pretty good here. Y'all got me exhausted. Oh, we got a couple more? Okay. All right. Well,
All right,
we got a couple
days.
more.
Is 45 days good to put on a close?
Oh, yeah. Yes. That's a really good time frame. Yes.
All right. How do you go about double closing, and do you need to tell both parties or just the title company?
Well, why would you even double close if you're trying to tell us, you know what I'm saying? The purpose of double closing for most people is so the seller and the buyer don't meet. And yeah, the title company has to know it because they're the ones setting it up or whatever. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I got off on the school thing, got off on the pre-foreclosures, got off on, what else did I get off on? On the real estate agents or whatever. So, okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. I hope it works out for you. Well, I know it will. Just put it in action. So, anything you need, text to 205-964-5243. I've quoted all that stuff out, and we figure out what we're going to eat here today. We're going to raise this money to get the ladies on camera. So I'll cash at me at Ask Flipman, $. Is it Ask? Yeah, that's what it is. $ Ask Flipman. Gonna get this bread up. So if you're on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. Everything you need to know is right there on my YouTube channel. So there are no excuses. You have nothing to lose when the knowledge and training is free. Hit it.
Text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. TikTok, you don't stop. I will help you make your paper stack. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now? 205-964-5243. Now you know 205.